INET seeks to inspire all these imaginative people who are concerned about the fate of our society and planet.
Welcome in Berlin. This is our capital.
We are right within the shadow of the Brandenburg Gate. That should be a reminder that there are a lot worse things than debt.
Even with all the smarts in the world, with very high computation, with incredible gathering of facts, we don't know the future.
Recognition of fallibility, far from being paralyzing and depressing, is actually empowering. Because what fallibility implies is the capacity for improvement.
We need humanities, we need history, we need psychology, we need all of those things.
Complex problems do not always require complex solutions.
The purpose of an economy is not producing GDP. It's increasing the welfare of citizens.
Tackling economic inequality is very important to tackling financial instability.
Rising inequality may in part be occurring because we have solved the economic problem. I want simply to provoke your thinking on that issue, which I think is an important one.
I think the euro was a mistake.
The Western world has caught the same disease Japan caught 15 years ago.
Is Germany ready to lead? My answer is unfortunately not.
The German public has to accept that any union involves transfer of payments.
They are so focused on austerity, they have failed to recognize that economic growth is not a negligible component of deficit reduction.
Politicians are fearful of pushing one lever that makes the thing go down.
It's not a Greek problem, it's not a Portuguese problem, it's a Eurozone problem.
The sociology of knowledge is such that if it happens in Chile, if it happens in Sweden, if it happens in Taiwan, it's not worth thinking about.
The only thing conventional economics did for the last 30 years made a fatally extreme assumption that got us into where we are.
We have seen a lot of talk about sustainable development, but we are basically not on track.
When we lose the Greenland ice cap and Palm Beach is under 3 meters of water, I have no doubt there will be a mass movement to address climate change after the fact.
The youthful group we call the Young Scholars Initiative Commons. They're up over my shoulder right now. They have over 300 people registered. Many of our speakers will get a chance to go and visit with them.
We invited irresponsible action of private actors, banks, but also investors. And not only the big one, but behind that also the many small ones.
One of the things that I'm quite sort of passionate about is trying to improve the public understanding of economics.
It is very important to re-emphasize social and political aspects of economics.
Old paradigms don't hold true anymore. When we call it an economic crisis, we think that it's a crisis of an economic life, but it is not. It is rather a crisis of economic thinking.
I'm wondering, how can you actually democratize globalization?
You need global regulation, and we haven't yet created a framework for doing that. And in the absence of that, we have a lot of adverse global consequences.
I think the most pressing issues incorporating those ideas that were not thought of as purely economic ideas but have an impact on economics into our curricula.
Those young people who we will pass the baton to, I want those people to feel a community. I want those people to have the courage to follow their creativity.
I look and hope that through this kind of engagement of people thinking and doing at this frontier, we can re-engender the hope that we can earn our way out of this situation through growth.
At the core, economics is about politics and about power. I see this going from a germ of an idea to a global network where curiosity and enthusiasm for economics and awareness that we have to rebuild the economic structure can be distributed every place on the planet.